Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. Today is the video that I've been waiting for all year, and that is what I read this year and what I will be reading next year. Today's shout out is going to Simply Strawberry. If you want to shout out as well, comment something down below. And let's get started. I'm gonna do this in random order because I don't remember in what order I read this. Okay, we're gonna start with a Colleen Hoover book, and believe it or not, this is my only Colleen Hoover book this year, but it's been my it's been my fifth overall. I find this a very interesting book. So this is a romantic book, and throughout this book you follow two people and they meet on the same day every year, November 9th, for 5 years straight. They don't have any other contact whatsoever. They don't text, they don't call, they only see each other one day a year. And it is crazy because in the book you only read those days. So you don't read the time in between. So you go from year to year, just from November 9 to November 9, and that is so crazy because so much happens in a year and the most crazy things happen, and like you have absolutely no idea what's coming, and you read from both perspectives. It also makes you wonder what is going to happen because a lot can happen in the span of 5 years. So it is so interesting to me. I definitely liked it a lot, and there were so many moments that I was like I like it a lot. I like the concept of the book a lot as well. Next one is another romantic book, and it is better than the movies. Boy, do I love it. Oh yes, I do. This book is so good. I loved every single thing about it. This one was so good. It's an enemies to lovers story. So you are reading about teenagers, but I love that American teenager high school setting. I really like that a lot. Even though I'm growing up, I mean, I just turned 21, but still I liked it a lot. It was just so sweet. The whole story was really good. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but it was a really good book. It was so sweet and so pure and innocent and so good. Let's continue with something completely different, and that is Truly Devious. This is a trilogy, and I got all three already. It's definitely a murder mystery trilogy. I was kind of confused at the end because it was such an open ending. Literally, it said to be continued, and it was like in the middle of the story, it just got cut off. So that is one thing that I'm gonna say about it. I was just kind of confused. I was like, okay, but that is such an open ending. Still, I liked it a lot. It took a while for me to get into the book, but it is actually very interesting, and it takes place at this very different school. Like, it's a free school, but only a few people can get in that are like really talented and special. I liked it a lot. It was very different and special. Then I also read Book Lovers. Yes, I did. I liked this book, but it wasn't my favorite. I don't specifically have anything bad to say about the book. I liked it. I liked the characters, and I liked the enemies to lovers-ish romance, and you also read about the relationship between the head character and her sister. I like the setting where it takes place in like this small town where they're actually on like a little vacation for 2 weeks or something. I don't really have anything specifically bad to say about it or things I would like to be different. I don't know, I liked it. It was a good book, but it wasn't specifically my favorite. But I don't know why. I can't tell why. I would still recommend it to you. The next one is The Inheritance Games. I heard so much about this, so I really wanted to give it a try. I don't know what this is categorized in. It's not a murder mystery. It's not really a romance book either. The story is about a girl who basically has nothing, and some incredibly rich man dies and leaves his entire inheritance to her. She doesn't know this guy, so she is so confused, and the whole family of this old very rich man is angry, and she has to live with them, and they're trying to figure out why he left it to her instead of to the family. The old man was really into games and puzzles. I just don't really know if this is like my genre. This is also a trilogy. The difference between these endings is that this one stopped right in the middle of the story with no answers whatsoever, and this book gave you answers and kind of rounded up what they were trying to find out. Then again, it also left an open ending, and it wasn't completely answered yet. I'm gonna stop. But it is a good book. If this is your type of genre book, then I think it's really good. Next one is Two Can Keep a Secret. So this one is from Karen M. McManus. That's the same writer who wrote One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Back, and One of Us is Next, and not in the right order. I really like the first 2 books of that series, so I thought let's also read more of her. This is, of course, also a murder mystery. I'm trying really hard to recall what happened. Why don't I remember? I really don't remember how it ends. That is really not a good sign. I did give this 4 stars, so I did like it. I remember liking it. I just don't really remember what it was about and what happened. I do recommend it because I remember liking it. There's one book that I don't have on me right now because I loaned it to someone, but it's this book. It's 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. This is what got me into a reading slump. A lot of people were positive about this book and said that it was a fast-paced book and everything, and I do not agree. This is the same writer as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I loved this series. I would read it again in an instant. So when this book came out, I instantly got it. First of all, it's a thriller. This whole book is in the span of one night. You read about one night. You basically read every single thing that happens. There are no breaks. There are no skips. You read everything that happens. I did not like that. I did not care for it. It was a very slow book for me. It took so long for me to finish, and it definitely got me into a reading slump because ever since I have not been reading as much, and that makes me so sad. I could have skipped it. But a lot of people are positive about it, so if you do like the idea of the story, go give it a try. Then another book that I read is Fantastic Beasts, and this is actually an interesting book because it has the original screenplay from the movie, which is basically kind of like the script. And it's actually a very fun way to read a book, but it was a little hard for me to get through because I already saw the movie. At first it says like scene 49, exterior Central Park at night, and then a large frozen pond in the middle of Central Lake, children ice skate. Like they kind of describe the scene, then you see like the name and what they say, and it's kind of a fun way to read a book, honestly. It's very different. Then I'm reading right now The Vanishing Stair, which is part 2 to Truly Devious. I like it so far. Another bad thing happened. I like that. I like that it's kind of like they're like trying to solve what happened in the past, but then at the same time stuff happens. I like the way that they did that. I definitely like what's going on in the present. I'm a little bit less interested in like the parts where you read about the past, like interviews and stuff. You read that in between. I don't really care for that much. I kind of just want to get through that so I can get back to the present because I think that's a lot more interesting. The characters are so interesting and I just like it a lot. I'm very curious how it will continue and how it will end in the 3rd book, which I also have, and that is The Hand on the Wall, and I'm so excited. I will also be reading this in 2024. What I'm also reading right now is the 2nd part of Harry Potter. If you saw my book video last year, I read the first Harry Potter book, but this is a 3D illustrated book. It is so interesting. Here you have the letter, you can like fold it out and everything. This is so fun to read and it's such a pretty book, so I just had to get the 2nd part. So I'm reading that one right now. But honestly, I'm a little bit more invested in my Truly Devious series, so I'm reading that more. But still, it's such a fun book. It's so pretty. It's also really fun to have in like your bookcase because they look so pretty on the side. Then I also have the 3rd part. I just got this for my birthday, so I'm definitely going to be reading this in 2024. I'm so excited, and these books are so gorgeous. What I also got this year is One of Us is Back. I'm kind of sad that I haven't read it yet. My idea was to read it after Truly Devious, but it had such an open ending and I just wanted to keep reading. So I just started The Vanishing Stair right away, and I think after I'm done with this series that I will read this one because I am so curious. I really liked One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next. I'm so excited to read this book. Then another book that I definitely want to read is the 2nd part of the Inheritance games, The Hawthorne Legacy. I'm so excited. I hope there are a little bit more games and stuff and less of the personal stuff, honestly. Like, I like the games. I'm really curious what it's gonna be like. I also have a few other books that I got this year that I haven't read yet, but those are the ones that I'm looking forward to the most. Let me know what your favorite book was that you read this year. My favorite this year was better than the movies. Definitely, for sure. It was so good. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye!